Welcome to Moment Talk. I'm your host, Shisa Moa. On episode 41, we have a guest that's a performer. He's a b-boy. In fact, he's performed at Super Bowl 52 with Justin Timberlake. He has performed with Tori Kelly for the Prince Tribute Concert performer. Also, Vanilla Ice. He's a regular at NBA Minnesota Timberwolves performer. His love for passion for dancing made him build a school for it, which he founded in 2017 called the Cypher Side Dance School and Studio with support from fellow collective artists of Indigenous Roots Culture Arts Center. Despite the negativity from his parents, he's been dancing for 13 years with teaching experience of 7 years. He's also even traveled across the sea to Thailand to teach kids out there how to dance. Let's all welcome Lu the Finisher. Are you looking for the latest Hmong-inspired menswear? Well, look no further. She sells menswear, makes suit accessories, apparels, and you can find them at www.xixomenswear.com. Yo, we are super excited today. You know how excited? Man, this gentleman's been on stage on Super Bowl 52. He performs at NBA Minnesota Timberwolves. But who is this guy? This gentleman, Lu, the Finisher. How? Man, what's up, bruh?
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me.
There's more than that. We're gonna talk more. Just being humble about that. There's a whole lot more about that too. We're gonna take you way back, man. We're taking you way back. We're talking like when you were like teenage, if that. Did you start b-boying already, Lu?
Yeah, so I started like late elementary, like fifth, sixth grade, and then kind of went more from middle school. So,
Who got you into that?
when I was in elementary, actually, my gym teacher, he used to be a dancer, and so just randomly in gym class, he just did a lot of backspins. And so I was like, oh, dang, that's cool. I want to learn how to spin on my back or my head and stuff like that. And so me and a friend just kind of got started from there, and then me and him branched off to two different middle schools, and we just kind of connected with our friends from different middle schools, just kind of combined together there.
Did you get organized in each kind of crew? I would say like the Loonies, or you know what I'm saying, back when, because this goes way
Yeah, my
back
original
when.
yeah, so way back, my original crew was called ABC Crew, and
Mm.
so that was who I started off with. So that's how like we formed, because my friend went to Hazel Park and I went to Battle Creek, and then our friends from each school kind of joined in and formed a crew. That was my original crew back then.
Did your mom and dad ever said anything like, "Hey, you should be doing that. You're gonna break your neck or something"?
Yeah, it was crazy back then. Like I got yelled at, I got locked out of the house from, but all I went to was just practice, and it was usually like a couple hours a day, and then I got yelled at, like saying, "Oh, that's gangster stuff," like you should be going to be a doctor, getting a job, things like that. That was one of the struggles I had.
That isn't the first I've heard that. Do you feel like is it gangster stuff to break dance? I mean, that's how the parents looked at it, right?
No, it was kind of actually kind of escape from it, because I had a lot of uncles and relatives that were actually in gangs, and I was just kind of fortunate enough to have dancing, break dancing in my life. So I was away from that stuff.
So we say dancing kind of what, a stress reliever. I would say.
Yeah, stress reliever. I'll say it's kind of like an escape, stress reliever. It was just something to do at the time and just kind of have fun and just kind of have like high goals. Like, oh, I want to accomplish this move, but this move is hard, and I want to try my best to just kind of get that move. That was kind of my mentality back then. Just getting those cool moves, and just it felt good to actually do the move.
What at that point in time when you were with your original crew, who was your first battle, man? Can you take us back there?
Man, I don't even. I don't know if you mean like an official crew battle or just like a random fun battle.
Let's say both.
It's trying to remember. I think maybe the first official crew battle was at my friend Jersey's gym. I think with my two crew members, King and someone else there. I don't remember. They might be Vang, but been so long. So that one I was like super scared to battle, and I'm not sure. There's been a lot, and it's just been so vague, and I just there's like a lot of like small like random call outs that people don't do anymore. Just like I'm gonna go call out your crew in battle. So that there might be some before that too. So I do not know officially uh, of like crew battles or like a 1 on. It's really
If you look back at some of your 10-year, style versus what you do now, is it kind of cringy, or are you like, man, it wasn't too bad?
man, it was bad. Style of my dance and my hair, man. You know how people back then once they
And
had
your hair. I wasn't even talking about your
I
hair.
had the long I had the long bangs. That was bad. My style of posing was bad. And now I look back at it and I was like, man, I see why girls didn't go for me.
Did you have like a baggy jean, like Jenko, with like split hair
Oh man, you know, like
hairstyle?
the baggy pants with the rubber bands on.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I got
yeah,
in trouble in school for it.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
I remember walking past like one of my teacher's room, and then somehow he saw that I was wearing rubber bands in my pants, and then he came inside. He was like, "Lou, you got lunch detention. Take off the rubber bands." I was like, "What the heck?" You know, like they thought it was gangster back then. It was like a gang kind of thing. So I got in trouble for wearing rubber bands on my pants.
If you guys had battle out at like a school turf, did the school try to stop you, or the supervisor, whoever, try to like wondering
Um,
what you guys are doing?
yeah, so there it was like hard not to dance. You know, they said, "Oh, you can't do that. You're gonna hurt yourself." I think once we went to kind of more like high school, then it was a little bit more accepting. So we kind of had practicing like before school, like during the morning, and then after school too. So once we reached high school, it was kind of more accepted more than the middle school.
I mean, as of today, it's more than accepted. We're talking like pros and Red Bull and Olympics now.
Yeah, it's a lot more competitive, and the skill is just man, crazy out there.
when when was your first ever like professional battle, man?
Professional battle. I'm trying to remember my first out of state, but it's like so long. I think maybe one of the first big ones was maybe the Red Bull Midwest qualifiers. So it was the Red Bull region. It was the regional qualifiers.
Can you
So
give
I
us a date on that?
think it might have been back like 2010.
Okay,
I think it was like 2010. I think.
so about a decade
That was one
ago.
of my first battles. I lost first round.
You lost
Yeah, so
first
this is like
round.
only invited.
That sucks.
Yeah, so it's only like invited like 8 or 16 people. So man, it was 8 years ago actually. 2012.
Yeah,
Or
you got a
no, I
lot
think
of power
it was
moves
12.
from windmills to flares and headspins to 90s and more up your sleeves too. But it's a lot of power moves. You work
Yeah,
out
there's a
too
lot.
to keep that, maintain that.
No, I don't work out like weights or anything. Like back then, it was just straight up dancing. But I think I need to maintain it now because I'm starting to get a belly. So
You know, at what at one point, you had a ex girlfriend that you were pursuing to dance. I think you were in your mid 20s, right? And you wanted to
yeah, I
pursue,
think I was like at least like
yeah, and you want to pursue dance, and you want to encourage her to into dance too. However, you two had a fallout, and that made you pursue even harder in your career, and which kind of led you to like side for side dance school, man. Can you tell us more about that
Mhm.
story of what happened with your love life and such?
Yeah, so it was just kind of a hard time at the time. Me and her just kind of, tried like unexpected things really happened with me and her. Happened, and so she started her own life, and I was just kind of by myself. And so that kind of led me through kind of like a hard depression. You know, all I had was just my friends and family, but I still felt alone. And so I just kind of had to make a decision for myself. Like I'm going through all this. Like I was really going through a tough time. Um, and so I just kind of had hard like a hard time to myself to kind of think like, oh, what am I doing with my life? Like, what do I want to do? How am I gonna get there? And so for me, it was just kind of taking chances with things like, just one day this person that contacted me named Marianne was just like, hey, you want to start your own dance studio like we talked about? And I just took the chance. I was working like a 9 to 5 job, and I was just kind of like, man, this sucks, you know. So for me, it's just kind of taking chances, and I'm just kind of glad that all the all the tragedies that happened with me and my ex, and just everything in general at that time it happened because I wouldn't be who I am now without all the difficulties in life, and just making me who I am now. Just realizing more about what I want and what I should be doing.
Awesome, dude. I'm glad you pursued it and used that anger or depression towards a goal that you've been working on. Now you founded Suffer Side Dance School. How's that going, man, for the school? Yeah, what's the youngest kid there?
Our youngest was 3, and our oldest before was 45. So
Wait, a
that's like the
3-year
age
old?
range. Yeah, we had a 3-year old. Now he turned 4, but when he started,
Oh,
he was
that's so
3.
adorable.
Yeah, they're awesome, man.
What kind of activity do you make them do versus the 45-year-old? Or the same? It's the same kind of dance move.
Similar dance moves. It's really basic. It's more fun for the little ones, but they'll still learn moves. I think it's hard for us to accept some 3-year-olds because some of them might not, have the what's the word for it? Like attention span. And so we kind of for 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, some 4-year-olds is we just kind of see it case by case. But usually they're okay. Well, half of them are okay, half of them are good. So we just teach them
Well,
basic moves, simple steps that they can do.
oh, that's so adorable. Are they super excited when they come into the dance studio and they start just jumping around?
Yeah, they're coming around, just, put a smile on my face, like seeing them, like random stuff, like seeing this little 4-year-old came in the class with little shoes and had the flash lightning on his shoes. I was like, man, like how you gonna get mad at him? He has no shoes. He's fresh. He has the lightning on his shoes.
And you mentioned the oldest is
Yeah,
45-year-old.
it's like yeah. So I was doing private lessons with a 45-year-old, but as of now, I'm not teaching him currently because of the whole pandemic. But yeah, that was 45-year-old I was teaching before too.
Understandable. So what's the day in like Side Dance School? I mean, do you warm up? Tell them to warm up, and then let's say I'm a student, I come there. Do you tell me to warm up, and then we go to the next practice or what?
Yeah, so usually if I'm doing my classes, parents just bring their kids in. They Parents wait in the waiting room or they leave and come back. But usually I'll start the kids just kind of stretching. Or it's more for like getting them comfortable too, because a lot of the younger kids they don't have the confidence, you know. So a lot of the kids that we see is like they're all shy. They need their parents like with them the first class, and they're just so scared, you know. But after like the first day, they're usually a lot better. But usually it's like them getting to know all the classmates, kind of doing an introductory, like, oh, how everybody has to say their name and like their favorite food, how old they are, just introductory stuff. And then just after that, warm ups, setting class expectations, like, oh, you have respect, and then start teaching moves after that. And then at the end, sometimes I do a game for the little ones, little ones maybe do like freeze dance, Simon Says, and then at the end, we usually do like a huddle quiz, like, oh, before you leave, you have to say a move. So that's kind of how my class works.
Cute, man. That's awesome, dude. The routine. At one point, you were in Thailand and Laos, and you taught the kids over there to break dance too, with Street Stop, right? Am I right?
Mhm.
How was your experience out there?
Man, it was inspiring. Like, how some parents say, oh, you don't know how it really is until you go over there. made me really think like, dang, like my parents really were there, were living there, and they brought us over. And but yeah, overall it was really inspiring. I learned a lot. Not taking things for granted because I was teaching. Man, it was hard. Well, it was kind of rough some days because we would teach like the whole day. So we would go to like one Hmong village in the morning, and then another one during like afternoon, and then we would go straight to the orphanage that we taught at, PLY. So we usually go there right after in the evening or afternoon, late afternoon teach. So that was like the main place that we taught at is the orphanage. So,
Pretty humble, man. You said that you don't take things for granted. It really opened your eyes. That's the first time you ever been out of the country,
yeah, that's first time.
and you can see a lot of kids there. You don't have very much but their shirt and maybe if their pants on their, and a pair of shoes. Were they happy to see it and have you perform and have you do your thing and them watching and then they're repeating what you do?
Yeah, a lot of them were really excited and they were really appreciated. Like one of them came up to me and said like, "Oh, like you're my idol. I've never seen an actual Hmong dancer, professional one, come and teach us. And willing to teach us. Like all they saw before was like Thai dancers, but then it would be really quick. It's giving them the opportunity to actually learn from someone that's been doing it and someone that's actually Hmong that they can relate to. I feel like having that connection is really important. You know.
That's awesome. You gave that kid, a guy or girl, uh, an opportunity, right, to be a dancer
Hmm.
and a Hmong dancer too. So it's a stepping stone.
Hmm.
So great job for that, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Those. Um, how many? Back to about your dance school. How many kids are there? My bad. Adult and kids.
Uh,
The whole pack.
we have around 75. Well, with this whole pandemic, it kind of shifts as of
Mm,
right now, but we have like 75. Majority Hmong kids, but we have, I don't know, all different ethnicities.
congrats for that, man. It's moving and it's moving forward. And it's probably gonna grow and let the pandemic settle down.
Hmm.
You've been to so many dance competitions, or if not, you either dance to compete or you dance to for fun. We're to the point where you're pretty much a daily at the NBA Minnesota Timberwolves performing on halftime, man. How do you like that exposure?
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's like I like the thrill, kind of like the energy that when you step on the stage, it's like, man, let's do this. It's um, really good because it's just really they're really quick, and we get tickets to see the game, which is nice usually. So we just do like rehearsals outside of it with our own group because usually it's like quarter shows that we do because we have a set schedule like once or twice a month for the season, and then sometimes they have random gigs for us to like sometimes like I got last time like a day before one of the events like got booked to do like the All Stars game like each player intros. So those are cool because it's like the players are right in front of you, just zooming by. But for us, it's like we have to be professional, so we don't go talk to them.
So speaking of not talk to them, you also perform at two major ones, Tori Kelly and Super Bowl. Justin Timberlake, man. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it was just one day for Tori Kelly. One of my friends, Jovi, he just messaged me. He was like, "Hey, because I know that was the time that Prince passed away, and so there was like a concert for him, and so there's like all these big name stars like Jessie J, Christina Aguilera, but Christina Aguilera didn't make it. And there's like Stevie Wonder, and so friend Jovi just messaged me saying, "Hey, how would you like to perform for Tori Kelly? What are some of the people who were asking for a b-boy that could do power moves?" And so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm down. So had to do some little hip hop moves too, which I don't really do, but if I get the chance to do it like small and still do my thing, then I'll still do it. So uh, got to do that, and then the funny thing is that Tori Kelly didn't. didn't know there was gonna be dancers. So the organizers didn't tell her. So when we were doing rehearsals and stuff, like we had to adjust a lot of stuff, and she had to adjust a lot of stuff. But she was really nice about everything, and then turned out really good. So I got a little solo in it. I couldn't really find official footage, but I have found like a fan video on YouTube, but the quality is not that good, so that's why I don't usually post that one because it's so hard to see. But you can still see me. So
Dope,
that
man.
one
We
was
see you.
good.
We see you.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
then
that one was
Justin
good.
Timberlake too. How was your experience on that?
Man, that was the most. Man, I think that was like the best and favorite one because it's just like, man, like I don't know if you guys saw the video or the halftime, but a lot of people are talking bad stuff about it. But it's like it's a lot of work that they put into it, a lot of hard work because they have to manage like two, three people, 100 people on the field, plus like everybody else. And so I think one of the highlights is, I mean, Timberlake is one of the highlights because it was his birthday when we were rehearsing too. So everyone got to say happy birthday, but during like the video, like being like during the day of and just being on the field, and then there's like all these lights. There's like the part in the Super Bowl where all these lights are on for uh, Prince, and so just looking around, like I was like, man, this is dream come true. It's just like, man, you look around, it's just like, man, you can just think, oh my god, I did this, you know. So that's kind of like how I felt. It was awesome.
Awesome experience, dude. Is there another one that you would love to perform to?
There's another big one I did was Vanilla Ice. Uh, that one was interesting because the funny thing about that one, not a lot of people know, is that I was sleeping and then I woke up to the message about it. So like, hey, who need? So we have the group First Avenue Breakers that performs Temple Road. So I was sleeping, I think one day, and then I woke up probably around like 6, and I was like, looking at the message like, hey, we need someone that if anyone wants to dance with Vanilla Ice. Everybody else was like, oh, so last minute because it was like in 2 hours. The
Yeah,
his
talk about
clip.
last minute. Go ahead.
That was really last one. So I was like, heck yeah, I was dancing Vanilla Ice too. I don't know, I'll figure it out. And so went we didn't rehearse. We just went there, and then he just okay, hey, I want you to do this and this, and yeah, the Vanilla Ice was really cool. I got a picture of him, and then yeah, I was kind of confused about the performance too because they didn't tell me exactly what to do, and then for how long. So I was just kind of like quick inserts in and out, and then yeah, space was kind of small too, but that was really fun because that was like a sold out show too. So there were like a lot of old school people. I forgot Salt and Pepper and other ones. Um, but yeah, he's a cool guy, but he's kind of he did well. I remember there was like there was like part of the song like he grabbed someone from the audience, and she's kind of a larger lady, and then he just felt like grinding with her. And then I was just like, dang, this dude just don't really care. He just does whatever. And so it was interesting to see, and I think he was like bring water to people. I don't can't remember, but yeah, it was fun.
Besides those past events, what about future events, man? Who would you like to perform for?
Man, I don't know. There's like a lot. Like just imagine like dancing for like Eminem or something. Um, I don't know. There's so much. Um, yeah, there's so much. I can't even name them.
Okay. Lou, I like always to ask this question at kind of the end of the show. And I just wanted to say, what does it mean to be a Hmong man?
Being a mole man, I
There's no
think
right or
it's
wrong. Go ahead.
respect. I think it's still respecting your traditions, but still be yourself. That's what I feel like still respecting like the traditions, but still knowing your self worth and just knowing, respect, you know, because a lot of like the Hmong culture, there's a lot of like, um, what's the word for it? Like gender roles are not really equal. in a sense, And I feel like being a Hmong man now, to me, is just kind of still respecting some of the old traditions, but still having that self-respect and the respect for like females and self for your elders, for yourself. Um, yeah, that's what I would say.
Right. If you were to give the younger teenage Lou an advice, what would you give him?
Oh man, I think I was sometimes too serious back then. I feel like I should have enjoyed life a little bit, but still know my boundaries. Uh, just kind of, I feel, back then, yeah, trying to think, yeah, I would say those are the main things, and just making sure that just don't mess up too much, But everybody's gonna go through struggles, but I think knowing how to recover from it will kind of be better from it. Because a lot of times back then, I would make a mistake and I would just not learn from it. And I feel like now it's like all these struggles and things that happen, I bounce back twice as hard. And back then I didn't bounce back at all. I just kind of drowned myself and didn't think. So yeah, I think I would say.
Seem like you're getting wiser. Lastly, Lou,
Yeah,
that I
like
want to
a lot of
ask you.
people don't.
Go ahead.
No. Oh no. Go ahead.
Lastly, Lou, man, where can we follow you, man? Do you have a website? Do you have a Facebook, etc.? Please do tell our listeners.
Yeah, so my personal Facebook is Lou Finisher Tao. Don't write Fisher because a lot of people keep calls me Fisher, which I don't see why they would get finished. Well, I see why they get Fisher, but it's Finisher. Lou Finisher Tao. And then you can also follow uh my dance school page at Cypherside Dance School. CYPHER and then space SIDE. Uh, I just added the dance school because I feel like not like outsiders don't really know what Cypherside is. I just kind of added the Cypherside dance school aspect to it. Or you can check my dance school's website at www.cypherside.org. You look at more information on classes or just kind of see videos as well.
Last question, dude. How'd you get the name Finisher?
Back with my old crew, we were just dancing for fun and we were bad for fun. And then just randomly my friend, I was like beating them, I was beating them, and then he's just like, man, you keep beating us, you keep finishing us, like maybe you should just call you the finisher. So I was like, okay, but I'll take it because a lot of b-boys, they get their name given to them. It's like when you're born, like your name's given to you. So that's kind of like how b-boys done it with the name. So that's all I got from it. This is my friend Derek.
Oh. thanks for sharing that. Because when I think of Finisher, I'm thinking like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, a lot of people, they say that. A lot of people say, "Oh, finish him."
Oh, cool, man.
Funny jokes about it. Finish her.
Well, hey, Lou, we're like super appreciative of your time to coming out and chatting us about your experience about B-Boy. And yeah, we appreciate it, man. So thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for having me. And make sure whoever's listen to a podcast, check out like future events and future shows that are happening too. I'm not sure.
Well, that ends our episode. If you haven't yet, visit our website at www.hmongmentalk.com or find us on Facebook, Hmong Men Talk. Lastly, if you're listening on us on a podcast from Stitcher or Spotify, Google Play, or iTunes, please give us an honest rating. One last thing, we want to give a shout out to my Yevu and DJ Peter for allowing us to use their song and beats. Thank you so much. You can check them out on YouTube.